Big reception for the first of 5 Austrian players we'll see in action on the opening day of the Austrian Darts Open, live from the Multiversum here in Vienna. As Zoran Lerchbacher, the hypercane, makes his way onto the stage, looking to emulate his achievement last year where he won his opening game. Beat Jeffrey Desvan last year 6-4. We'll not talk so much about his 6-0 whitewash defeat to Jelle Klaassen, but he was flying the flag for Austria in the opening round of this tournament last year at this venue. Can he repeat the trick against Lee Bryant, a man who picked up his tour card at the start of the year, won a few games at the UK Open qualifiers, looked pretty good and throws just like Scott Waits, in my uncultured opinion. But it's not been great for Lee Bryant since then. He's moved back to his native Devon after he was a housemate with Rob Cross, the new sensation of PDC darts. But moved back to Devon, he's been changing a few things, back practicing with the people he used to practice alongside. Can he turn this slump in form around? It's a second Euro Tour event for Lee Bryant. I'm Dan Dawson. Rob Malarkey joins me in the commentary box for this one. This is probably about as lively as it's been today, isn't it?
I think it is, Dan. Yeah, absolutely right. Zoran Lerchbacher wouldn't want you to mention his 6-0 walloping by Ronnie Hybrex either that he suffered earlier this year. He's had 3 first-round appearances on the European Tour in 2017. A first-round defeat by Jamie Lewis at the German Masters. 6-0 against Ronnie Hybrex in the German Open. And a 6-4 defeat by Max Hopp as well. Lee Bryant's playing in only his 2nd Euro Tour event. He had that 1 appearance and that 1 defeat by
16.
James Wilson in Hamburg recently. I spoke to Lee after that and he said he was in awe of playing James Wilson, a player he looked up to on the BDO circuit, which...
60.
He was BDO number 1.
He was the BDO number 1. But he described him as a hero, and he said it took him a while to settle down, although he did lead 2-0 in that one, but he still felt as though he was a bag of nerves for the first 3 or 4 legs in that match. I think that will have done him the world of good just to have got that first European Tour experience out of the way and under his belt. He said he was overawed by the occasion as well, a big crowd. He'd never played anything
42.
or in front of anything like that before.
Yeah, it is all very new for Lee Bryant, but even playing week in, week out, your leisure centre darts in Wigan and Milton Keynes and Barnsley, you know, he's coming up against the biggest names in the game on a regular basis, and it takes a little while for players to
60.
convince themselves that they deserve to be there. Hasn't really taken his former roommate Rob Cross very long, but Rob Cross is a rather exceptional circumstance.
60.
Just struggling to find the 60. Lee Bryant, when I spoke to him earlier on, was saying exactly the same thing about when he played James Wilson. He said, I finished really nicely, I just couldn't find the 60. He said, if I can just find the range on that treble 20 bed,
100.
then it'll all work from there. There we go.
105.
Yeah, sensible use of the 25, leaves him a 2 darter. Zoran Lerchbacher looking at a very awkward one. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, Bryant just looks to be feeling that as well on the stage as he waits his turn
He
here.
requires 76.
76 away from a break of throw in the opener. Tops them.
36. Zoran, you requires 60.
Encouragement here for Lerchbacher from the crowd. Not afford to give Bryant any further opportunity. Double 10 instead. Not quite sure what that overzealous shout was for.
He
doesn't knock him off his stride. He finds double 10 after a small wait.
Well,
Just a little gesture towards the crowd there. Not quite sure what that was all about. We'll keep an eye on that one for you.
I think they thought the first one was
60.
in. The second one definitely was. Zoran just reminding him to wait for the referee's call. It's all well and good having some vocal support in the crowd, but you don't want it working against you.
100.
Qualified for the inaugural Austrian Open in 2012, the first event of the European Tour schedule under its new and revised format. Lost 6-2 to Alan Tavern that day.
41.
Then didn't qualify for another European Tour event until the European Match Play in Innsbruck in September of 2015, when he was knocked out in the first round by Darren Johnson.
46.
What a year he's had as well. Johnson, incidentally, beaten by Lee Bryant in qualifying for this 6-5 in the second round of qualifiers, the final round of qualifiers, I should say.
Well, for my money, I think Zoran Lerchbacher is improving. You know,
100.
You mentioned how few of these European Tour events he qualified for. I mean, obviously, the European Match Play in Innsbruck, there was the host nation qualifiers, so it was an Austrian. There's
100.
more opportunities there. And he is one of the in Austria.
But he started to make it to German events now.
Exactly, that's it. He's coming through those European qualifiers, which can be very, very tough. So he managed to do it for the German
60.
Darts Masters and the German Darts Open, the European Darts Grand Prix. So he's doing it on a regular basis, and we're seeing him playing the Pro Tour events now, a bit like
60.
how Mensur Suljovic decided to come over and play everything. He's been playing in, well, every single Players' Championship event of the year. He's been on the verge of making the quarterfinals.
81.
On a couple of occasions. So he hadn't been doing that a couple of years ago when he was here and there. So I think there are signs that Zoran Lerchbacher
99
is benefiting from playing on a more regular basis, as Mensur did. Incredible a rise as Mensur, but look at this. 57 scored. I know.
Let's beat.
94. You require 94.
See that Bryant was on 94 and went for it anyway. Yeah, well, you just have to look at Lerchbacher on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. He's picked up something like £11,500, I think, over the last 12 months. So
52.
that's the indicator.
Drawing you record 25.
Of how he has taken a step up. 25 away then from a 2-0 lead.
A shot to the second.
Exactly what he's got.
Zoran Lerchbacher.
Great encouragement for the Austrian fans and for his connections as well.
Third leg, Zoran to throw first.
Hypercane, by the way.
Theoretical weather system.
Okay.
There's never been one. It's like a hurricane, but in
100.
even more ridiculous circumstances. It's the kind of thing that you'd get a Hollywood disaster film made about, right? Or at least like a really
58.
rubbish B movie.
Probably starring Zoran Lerchbacher as
Possibly. I'd watch
that.
I'd watch The Hypercane starring Zoran Lerchbacher.
60.
Because he's a man whose name makes him sound like a Bond villain anyway.
Yeah.
He's not. He's a plumber.
60.
Well, Lee Bryant's got an extra incentive to get through to the second round. We'll talk about that in a moment. Because Lerchbacher's giving the Austrian fans something else to celebrate here. Well, potentially 12 dart leg here for Lerchbacher for a lead.
59. Drawing record 161.
He appears to be growing into this game, Lerchbacher, and Lee Bryant may be fading.
65.
Yeah, as well as picking up an extra £1,000 and setting up a meeting with Mervyn King tomorrow, Lee Bryant would like the honour of playing on his birthday as well, which he'll celebrate on Saturday. But as things stand, it could well be that he's on his way home on his birthday.
96.
Lerchbacher's 96 away from a 3-0 lead. He's got in hand here as well, double 18.
A shot to the third leg. Zoran Lerchbacher.
Zoran
Lead to game on.
So Jamie Bain blitz his way through against Christian Kirsten. Lerchbacher's doing something similar here.
96.
Well, look, we may not see a better performance in terms of the standard than what we saw from Jamie Bain earlier on. He averaged just shy, we're talking fractions of a point off 100. Zoran Lerchbacher nowhere near
95.
that, but he is in control of this one because Lee Bryant has not even had a dart at a double. Well, he's struggled to get down to the doubles, and I think
85.
he had one dart in the first leg. I'm not sure he's had one since.
No. Yeah, there we see.
There we go. Since then, not a great deal, but this is better.
140.
Already feels like a must-win leg for Lee Bryant. The crowd against
140.
Already feels like a must-win leg for Lee Bryant. The crowd against him. Zoran Lerchbacher with his tail up. Down for the 19 should be the route. Treble 19. Oh.
59.
Okay. Yeah. Not the time for your first maximum, Lee.
At 3-2.
81.
Well, Dan talked about Bryant's troubles on the Pro Tour. He reached the last 64 of 3 UK Open qualifiers this year. His only other payday came at the 4th Players' Championship event as well.
95.
He picked up 500 quid for making the last 64. Lost to Steve Beaton that day.
Wow.
What a story that was last weekend.
My word.
Did you shed tears?
There,
one or two?
48.
Close
yeah.
to? I thought you might.
There were tears. Weeping. With joy.
Good to see.
100.
Adonis, 53 years old. Trying to work out who's won PDC ranking titles at an older age than that. Phil Taylor, obviously. I think Dennis Priestley might well have done.
54.
I'm not sure there are many more.
$58.
Feel free to drop us a tweet if you can help us out with that one, if you fancy delving through your back of your mind or delving through the record books.
46.
Again, it's 1 and a 7 from Lee Bryant. Missing that treble 19 by a long, long way there. It's got to be a concern for him. Because he's been patchy on treble 20.
100.
He hasn't got anything else to rely on further down the board. Where's he going to pick up enough points? Because he's in danger of being broken here. Not going to leave a finish.
60. Zoran, you require 148.
Oh dear. Where's the 8?
Well, he's managed to only score 28. He's thrown one of his own darts at himself, but he has left Shanghai.
Bryant just staying in contention and moving into a very good position as well.
Managed to find the treble from a similar position in the last leg. Does so again, and again he has a look. And this time he pins the double as well. Zoran Lerchbacher, broken, break straight back, 120 checkout and a 4-2 lead. The Austrian 2 legs away from a meeting with Mervyn King. Former winner on the European Tour, of course.
44.
And seeded number 14 here this weekend in Vienna.
Easy.
We also saw Zoran Lerchbacher on the biggest stage of all at Ali Pali
44.
at the World Championship at the end of last year. He beat Simon Stevenson 2-1 in the prelim, which was a little bit of a surprise given the massive strides that Stevenson
100.
has made over the last year or so. Stevenson's first year on the PDC Tour. A player who continually made the latter stages on floor events and
60.
also had a TV debut at the Players' Championship finals as well.
Yeah, he struggled a bit this year, Simon Stevenson. A curious one after a very impressive year last year.
60.
But Lee Bryant is very much of the opinion that he's got 2 years to just give it a go. And he absolutely loves testing himself against the best. All right, it hasn't been going brilliantly on the Pro Tour, but he's still relishing the opportunity, and certainly to play on these big stages
60.
all around Europe. It's a great chance for him to learn how to get the best out of himself.
60.
Yeah, came through Q School on day 1. Got the job done at the first time of asking, along with Prakash Jiwa that day as well, and Jim Brown and Stephen Burton.
58.
Richie Edhouse in there decided.
Zoran Lerchbacher 153.
Rob Cross went to Wigan to watch him as well that week, although he was only there for 1 day.
60. Lerchbacher 143.
Not going to happen. Bryant is hoping. He is just hoping that Lerchbacher can't take out the 93. He's already taken out 96, 120.
123.
Can do this in 2 darts. Well, he's gone the ball route to try and give himself some insurance, and in the end, he doesn't get a dart at all for the leg.
77.
Costly.
24.
Potentially very costly if Bryant takes out double 12, and he
The
does.
7th flag, Leroy.
And Bryant trims the gap once again to 4-3.
A flag lead.
Still hanging in there, still fighting.
Game on.
Well, pick a winner. Zoran Lerchbacher dominated the early stages of this. Bryant looks to be coming back at him and then seemed to fade.
82.
But it's turning into a real battle, this one.
Yeah, just signs that Lerchbacher's beginning to look a little bit
60.
edgy.
Well, the crowd aren't quite as
Crowd have gone a bit
vociferous
quiet,
as they were, are they? It's turned into a real slog, and it's just
85.
taken the fire out of the crowd.
Yeah, it's up to him to get the crowd going, really. So the Austrians all feel okay. Well, if this one goes, we've got 5 others.
100.
An embarrassment of riches in the first round draw here for the Austrian crowd.
Yeah, the average is nothing special at all, but it won't matter to whoever does come through this one. And right now, Lerchbacher has his nose in front, but not by very much.
96.
Better.
140.
And 40. Drags a ripple of applause out of the crowd.
140.
Very timely indeed from Lee Bryant. Plenty riding on this now. Yeah, well.
80. He requires 44.
So, to level things up at 4 apiece, double 16 for Bryant. Can't really afford to miss this one, and he has 28. Done, and Lerchbacher's back in the punt here once again. Looking at double
20.
10.
Key moment in this game.
Bryant shakes his head at the back of the stage. He knows it's a big moment, and he's just hoping and praying that Lerchbacher misses with his third and final dart here. And he has done.
No score.
All three outside the wire.
16.
And Bryant returns at double 8s.
And Bryant chuntering away to himself behind Zoran Lerchbacher there. Didn't know if he'd get this opportunity. He's got it. He has to seize it. And seize it he does. 4 apiece in this one.
Zoran to throw first.
He was 3-0 down and 4-2 down. But Lee Bryant somehow has found a way to claw his way back to parity.
Yeah, 2 breaks apiece now in this match. It's been that sort of encounter. Neither player has really been able to assert any control in this one. As you say, Lerchbacher looked good at 4-2 when he secured his second break. Bryant, to his credit, has just kept digging in. He's been very, very resilient here. If he can just get in front, I feel it's there for the taking for him.
Well, it's not been pretty. It has been a battle. But one big leg from Zoran Lerchbacher here will put Lee Bryant on the brink of defeat.
Feeling the heat once again here, Bryant.
100.
And a big score here from Zoran will do potential irreparable damage here, but maybe some
45.
Further opportunity for Lee Bryant to bounce back in here.
It's the way this game's gone, isn't it? One decent visit has usually been followed by a poor one.
And once
84.
Again, straying away from the big number.
$100.
That's been his problem today.
44. Zoran, you record 116.
No need to panic here for Lerchbacher. Ah, lovely. Tops them.
76.
Misses tops for 116 checkout. Would have been his second Sun Plus checkout of the game, but he knows he's going to come back with 3 more darts for the leg and a 5-4 lead. Zoran Lerchbacher missed 3 clear darts last leg. He can't afford to do that here. Double 10 was a problem in the last leg. It's not a problem this time around. Zoran Lerchbacher edging closer to the second round on a meeting with Mervyn King.
45.
And there, another illustration of the problems that have beset Lee Bryant today. 45 with his opening visit. Can Lerchbacher pounce all over this?
140.
Yes, he can.
$140.
Ton 40 for Lerchbacher here. On the Bryant throw as well.
$83.
I was just about to say Bryant doing all he can to just stay in contention here, but that final dart has just handed the keys over to Lerchbacher here, and he's pouncing all over this once again. Look at this from Zoran Lerchbacher. What a leg of darts this has been. Down to 41 after 9 darts.
Saving his best till last. The hyper gain. 3 maximums in this match, a couple of in the last couple of legs, and it means that he gets match darts for a 6-4 win. And the man from Austria will be in the second round tomorrow. Lerchbacher sees off Lee Bryant 6-4, having led 3-0 and 4-2. He just got over the line, saved his best till the last couple of legs, and Zoran Lerchbacher will face the king, Mervyn King, for a place in the last 16 tomorrow. 4 games done and dusted this afternoon session. Got another 4 on the way for you. James Wilson, former BDO world #1 against Ronnie Huybrechts, the Rebel. Krzysztof Ratajski, the man who has dominated the East European qualifiers for these Euro Tours. He takes on Kim Viljanen from the Nordic qualifier. Wayne Jones, the veteran, faces another Austrian in Christian Kallinger. But coming up, it is the Cube, Rene Idams, against Justin Pipe, a former winner of this title, way back in 2012 when the European Tour was first conceived. It's Pipe versus Idams in just a few moments here in Vienna.